Good afternoon to all those tuning in. I'm delighted this afternoon to welcome Chelsey Baker of National Mentoring Day fame. Chelsey, she's successfully mentored hundreds of businesses throughout her career and is now recognised globally for her contribution towards mentoring. And the latest Mentoring Day, National Mentoring Day, is in multiple languages, and I'm sure she'll go on to tell us more about that in a few moments. She's a multi-award-winning entrepreneur and business mentor, and the founder and chief executive of National Mentoring Day. Chelsey, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Gary. It's great to be here today. Thanks for inviting me.
My pleasure. And I'm looking forward to jumping into this. Obviously, I've got my ABM hat on, the Association of Business Mentors. And, you know, we're massive advocates of National Mentoring Day. And we want to explore a little bit more about that for our members today. And we know that you're an advocate of the Association of Business Mentors as well. So it's like if we had a conversation with National Mentoring Day coming up, and we could share some great content for all those that want to do even more mentoring and support even more of their communities. So let's just jump straight in if we can.
Yes.
What was the brainchild? What was the idea behind National Mentoring Day? When did it start? What was that kind of magic moment for you?
Well, I think there's two parts to this story, I must say, an episode 1 and episode 2. Basically, I was a business consultant. I had my own business advice column in many magazines in the city, like Canary Wharf and the City magazine, and given all this advice. And I was a public speaker and, you know, presenting all over the world. And someone said, oh, you really ought to do like face-to-face business consultations and advice. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And then during my hosting and presenting career, I used to speak at, do you remember all the big business shows at Excel and Olympia?
Yeah.
I used to speak at the business show there. And one day I coming off stage from hosting this, you know, with all the dragons, it's like Midas Touch show. And there was a stand and it said, you know, do you have business experience to pass on? Could you be a mentor? And I'm like, yeah, where do I sign up? Like 20 years of marketing, branding, PR, you know, financial services. I had so much to give and to pass on. And that was my kind of intro into becoming a mentor. And then you may remember there was a government program started by Lord Young called Startup Loans, and that was a government mentoring program. And that was with James Kahn. So I quickly became a very busy mentor within that organization. And soon afterwards, I was mentoring literally hundreds of, I think it was 16 to 25-year-olds. And these groups of people like, can we have Chelsey? Can we have Chelsey? Because, you know, I was changing their life in such a good way. They were like, they used to call me Myth, which made me feel really old. But they used to say, Myth, nobody's ever, you know, worked with us like this before. You're giving us a chance. It was just, you know, you're giving us a shot at life. And since then, I just thought, right, this is amazing, but there needs to be more mentors. There's only one of me. There was quite a few other mentors, but we needed hundreds to tackle the 16 to 25-year-old market. So because of that initiative, you know, and I just loved sharing my skill stack. That's how the National Mentoring Day was actually born, the idea, because I was so stressed mentoring all these hundreds of kids. I was like, we need more mentors. And then the government projects kept giving me more and more people to mentor. And, you know, Gary, there's a lot of, I'm not going to say useless, but I don't want to get sued, but useless awareness days. And, you know, if anyone's thinking of coming up with an awareness day, they have no idea what's behind it. It's taken pretty much 9 years of hard graft to get it to where it is today. So that's how it started.
No, fantastic. And it's a great story. And, you know, I'm a commercial mentor, but I've been mentoring people all through my career, which is why I got into commercial mentoring myself and why I love the ABM. So anything we can do to beat the drum and raise the awareness of the benefits of mentoring and business mentoring on both sides, you know, mentees and mentors, then we're all for it. And hence the discussion this afternoon. So
when you said the key word there, Gary, you said mentors and mentees. That's why it's not National Mentor Day. It's National Mentoring Day.
Yes, but we've obviously got to raise the awareness of benefits to the mentee in order that they ask for. So we've got to. there's got to be a supply and demand, hasn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
So who is National Mentoring Day for? That's a great kind of segue into that next question.
Yeah, I mean, we started the initiative back in, I think it was like 2014. We inaugurated National Mentoring Day at the House of Lords with Lord Young, and we invited all the big mentoring organisations and mentors that we knew at the time to come down, and that's kind of like where it stemmed from. Okay, we're supporting mentors, mentees, and mentoring initiatives. And then it just grew and grew and grew because, Gary, the amount of charities that use mentors, and they use thousands of mentors. Their whole ethos is built on using mentors to mentor in sports, disadvantaged youth, rehabilitation. In the universities, we've got peer-to-peer mentoring, in business mentoring, corporate mentoring. So really, there's nobody that it's not for. We are inviting everybody from government organisations, corporates, charities, everyone to get involved and celebrate the National Mentoring Day. And, it's like there's big amounts of corporate support now going into supporting the veterans and ex-forces. So it's just, there's nobody that we leave behind.
Yeah, it's for everybody, isn't it? I'm involved in a charity called Young Enterprise, and they help high school children set up a business and run a business and compete and learn all about business skills and life skills. And one of the things we do there is we put a business advisor into those schools to help them on that journey. And it's incredibly rewarding to spend time and watch tomorrow's entrepreneurs just grow and flourish because they've got that little bit of extra support from somebody outside of the school environment. So it really is for everybody.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, what you just, that beautiful initiative that you just described. We're asking everyone to commit to mentor someone on National Mentoring Day or in the lead up to it. Just 1 hour for one person, it can change somebody's life. And we've all got skills to pass on as a mentor, and we've all got something to learn as a mentee. So that's the big ask, and there's just no excuse. Everyone can get involved, and you can use it. Corporates and businesses can use it as a PR opportunity. There's so much more to it. There's so much more we can be doing.
No, of course. And so I think you've probably touched on a little bit of my next question in how can mentors get involved, but when is National Mentoring Day in 2021, and how can people that have not heard of it or want to get involved, how can they get involved?
So it's the 27th of October. It is the same day every year. I went through, we had one Saturday incident. I shouldn't tell you this, but we had one Saturday once. I nearly had a nervous breakdown because we spent fortunes and so much time changing over hundreds of graphics to have the date changed, and it's not happening. It's the 27th of October every year. And sometimes the weekends can be great for the charity organizations. They really start doing lots of things and have open days and events on the weekend. So it's the 27th of October. nationalmentoringday.org is the website. We've had to go global, so all our handles are at NMD Global, and we have amazing resources. And mentees can download thank your mentor cards with beautiful poems. There's all sorts of things on there for people to see. So I think on the corporate side, we have a lot of organizations getting involved with us. The phone's ringing off the hook now. We work with their marketing and comms teams, and they start showcasing and sharing their success stories, their research, interviews, podcasts, typically from the 1st of October right up until that 27th of October. They're kind of like sharing all their mentoring data and things like that, coming up with press releases. And a lot of organizations who don't have a mentoring initiative, they typically launch one on National Mentoring Day. And those who do have a mentoring initiative, then they use the day to publicly thank and shine a spotlight on their mentors, and then I don't want to say boast, but share the impact of their initiative and what they've done throughout the year, because it's just slightly towards the end of the year, not getting too close to Christmas. So it's like, yeah, we've had a year of mentoring, this is what we've done and this is how far we've come. And we trend top on Twitter every year on the 27th of October, so we need to get everyone involved.
Is it as simple as people that are not familiar with or experienced in mentoring, just providing at least an hour of their time to mentor another business, a junior member of the team, a peer, just to impart some knowledge and experience so they become better, more focused, more motivated, and then it cascades down? Is it as simple as that?
Well, there's a lot more to it. I mean, on the day, yes, this is the big ask, because Gary, in terms of marketing, if you make it too complicated, people don't get involved. So we're asking everyone to commit 1 hour to mentor someone. Typically, your professional business mentors, they will hold a mentoring session on the day, or a group workshop or something like that. So, that's kind of the big ask. And then in terms of, is it so simple as mentoring someone? We all have skills to pass on to somebody, but it's being clear on what you're looking for. People often don't know, you see, with mentoring. They're like, oh yeah, I want to mentor, but what specifically do you want to achieve with that mentor? It's like I've got business mentors, I've got a spiritual mentor, I've got a health mentor, I've got a sports mentor. There's so many different types, and a mentor shouldn't try and be, wear all the hats. It has a true good business mentor, a life mentor is able to, pass on and create different avenues for different things, and not try and be all singing, all dancing mentor. So I think it's important to do that matching quite carefully in terms of what are you looking for. I mentored, for the government on marketing, PR, branding, and sales. I did marketing. I didn't mentor on accountancy or something like that, because I'm not an experienced an accountant. So we've only got to share what we're experienced in. And I think that's where you can get into some real sticky water, which is where professional mentoring comes in.
And where the association and business mentors comes in terms of business mentoring, us, from our experience, there's a lot of people out there that call themselves, whether it's a coach, a consultant, a mentor, and they don't necessarily have the core skills that they're suggesting they do have. And it's unfortunately the business owner, the mentee that gets hurt, gets it costs them money, it costs them reputation, because somebody's tried to sell them something that they didn't need or weren't capable of delivering. And so part of this is raising awareness of what you should be looking for, isn't it?
Absolutely. And like I say, it's that skill stack matching, because it's like the value. We're talking about the value to businesses. I've been in charge of multi-million-pound PR campaigns. National Mentoring Days had over 200 pages of national press coverage here. So imagine, working with a company and being able to pass that on to a small business on how to generate leads from press, how to be featured on television and things like that. And it's like, I wouldn't dream of mentoring on something that I didn't know about. And that's where we've all got to be very honest with ourselves and say, right, I'm not an expert in everything. And I would literally I remember I had one client and I said, she said, oh, right, why can't you help me on it was something to do with corporation setup and that. And I said, listen, you want marketing and branding and you want me to write you an amazing press release and show you how I do it, done. But you want this, go and speak to your accountant. She went, oh, I can't believe you said that. I said, I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not, or know something that I don't claim to. So I think that's very key, and it's why we all have a niche. But we all have a niche, and that's what's so beautiful about mentoring. It doesn't have to be on the business side of it. It could be, something health related. If you've been through cancer, you can then go on to share your experience of how you overcame or dealt with that situation of cancer with somebody else. It doesn't have to necessarily be on a business side. It could be divorce.
It could be anything, couldn't it? So what we're a month out now, give or take a day. What happens in the lead up to National Mentoring Day?
Well, in the lead up to the mentoring day, this is where the corporates kind of, and everyone, the charities, they start preparing their what we call digital assets. And a lot of people actually tend to hold an event on the 27th of October. It could just be a group session. Lots of activities, different companies organize. We have 4 pillars, which is the basis and the foundation of National Mentoring Day. It's to educate, to support, connect, and celebrate. So we're asking people to choose one or all 4 of those and do something. If you don't have a mentoring initiative, you can support mentoring initiatives in your area, in your industry. You can get together speakers, podcasts, videos, interviews. The whole thing is about inspiring people to become a mentor or to seek mentoring. So whichever way people want to get involved, but typically it all starts now.
And do you have an idea on how many people are going to participate in this day this year?
Oh, it's off the scale. To make something trend on Twitter, I don't know how many that takes, but it's now. I realised the depth of it last year when we had the US Border Force saying it's National Mentoring Day, and I think they call it soccer teams over there, but like huge baseball and soccer teams were celebrating their all their mentors within their soccer teams. So I was like, okay, right, this really has gone global. That's why we've been working today with the Welsh government, having everything created in Welsh, and we just finished having everything created in Spanish, because there's 21 Spanish-speaking countries. So yeah, it's really Gary, what can I say? Mentoring changes lives, helps businesses survive and thrive. That's why it's taking off. I'm just providing the resources to do this, and that's why it's happening.
It's a feel-good factor on both sides, isn't it? As a mentor, I get a massive feel-good factor when I'm passing on that knowledge and experience, and I can see the penny drop. And I know as a mentee, because I've also got my own range of mentors, I know that it's significantly beneficial for me to get that wise, feedback and support I need from a network. So it's incredibly powerful on both sides. So Chelsey, you've got US Border Force, soccer teams, Spanish, Welsh, you've gone global. Where are you on the journey, and what's the long-term vision for National Mentoring Day? What does success ultimately look like for you?
Well, I think, really with all of this, we need funding, we need sponsorship. It's just a never-ending kind of journey. I think, we put this together now, that's done, and then the next thing, it just seems to be growing and growing, and we're working on some game-changing plans in education at the moment behind the scenes, because it's not just a one-day initiative. We are the voice of mentoring. We are here to promote your mentoring news. So you don't have to wait till the 27th of October. Use the hashtag and use the @NMD Global and share your positive mentoring stories to help inspire others. So that's where we're on our global journey at the moment. But like I say, it's never ending.
But does this finish for you when you're in every country? When when do you kind of sit back and say we've done the job, or will you never achieve that?
I did have we need help, really. I did think that yesterday. I started on Portuguese, and I thought I can't cope with another language right now in 4 weeks' time. So I think we went for Spanish because there's 21 countries that speak Spanish, but at the end of the day, it is a cause close to my heart. I know the impact of what we've done in the UK, and I could have tears telling you the stories of when I helped a company in Mexico last week, Hong Kong previously, and they don't know about mentoring, Gary. They don't know about it. And they turned around to me and said, yeah, but mentoring is just paid for. And I said, yeah, professional business mentoring is paid for. And if you are a disadvantaged youth or a victim of abuse, you do not have to pay for your mentoring. Someone has to pay always for the mentoring. But, this is where it's creating that awareness for the other countries. They are so behind. Last year, I spoke in India, France, Cyprus, Spain, and probably another 5 countries. And just to set the scene with you, there's not a word mentoring in some of these countries. So that's where, the movie Lost in Translation, I've been literally tearing my hair out here, because there's me with all these amazing graphics saying to positively impact someone's life is a gift that keeps on giving. And the translators are coming back saying, oh, your gift is growing. I'm like, no, this is not right. So it's not an easy task, I'm afraid, but I will not give up, because I will not rest until there is all participation from the majority of countries.
Fantastic. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to catch up with you this afternoon. It is a cause and a day that's close to my heart. Every single year I'm making a special part of providing mentoring to a number of mentees that I've never worked with, free of charge, just to raise awareness and mentor a few more businesses.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Amazing work you're doing.
This is all about just raising awareness. The more people and the more businesses that can get support and ask for support, the more everybody's going to benefit. So Chelsey, just you've been involved in the Association of Business Mentors from the very, very early days. What does it mean to you in terms of you being a mentor, but in terms of also National Mentoring Day and how the ABM impacts?
Yeah, well, Kerry and Simon, I think I sat next to Simon at an awards do, and I won Business Mentor of the Year at BAFTA, and that's where I first got to know him. And that was through the British Bankers Association a long time ago. So they've really been there at the start of my journey, and then they honoured me with an award, the ABM, at the British Library. I think this is many years ago now. So I love the work that you're doing there. Mentoring isn't just a hobby. It is an actual business profession, which leads me on to sometimes when people say to me, oh, what do you do? I say, I'm a business mentor. And they say, yeah, but what do you really do? And I say, I'm a business mentor. They say, no, but what do you do work-wise? And I'm a business mentor. So, I think it's just raising that awareness as well, that it is not just a hobby, it is a serious business profession as well. So I think it's a great fit with the National Mentoring Day, of course, because you're recognising the importance of business mentoring. We're promoting business mentoring. And as you know, Gary, the value that business mentors provide to businesses, they help them survive, they help them change. I've had so many small businesses, and you have as well, saved by having a mentor. But something we haven't touched on today is the fact that people still don't know how to ask or seek. There is still this big mentoring gap, the services of a mentor. And that's what's key today as well to talk about, is that it's okay to ask for help. So you've got organizations now that just have not changed with the times, and they've not gone digital. They don't even know what TikTok is. They think it's a sweetie, like a Tic Tac. And it's so important that a business mentor who is an experienced business mentor can come in and show them how to change and help that business thrive and survive. So I think professional mentor training and CPD, and it's such an important part of any professional mentor's skills. So it's a great fit.
Yeah, well, the Association of Business Mentors, of course, have just launched an ILM level 5 and level 7 in professional business mentoring. And, we've received some great feedback. And that for us is about just giving the tools to the business mentors to make sure they deliver better results. So, we're on a journey of development, and part of that is National Mentoring Day. How does professional mentoring fit within National Mentoring Day?
Well, obviously, we have all the resources and graphics for professional mentors to get involved and to I want to say use the day to take it more seriously as well, and progress from that. Oh yeah, from that hobby mentoring to, okay, I've mentored an at-risk youth, or I've mentored somebody in sports, and now I actually have a huge skill stack to pass on. Where do I go? Where do I take this? How do I take this to the next level? So it's just one of those things that people don't really know how to and where to take it, and that's why we're raising awareness on it. It's so important.
And this raising awareness piece, how can we, Chelsey, together as professional mentors that we are, business mentors and mentors, how can we raise awareness with government to help them cascade down the benefits of mentoring and business mentoring to 5.9 million small businesses and all the corporates will benefit? How can we work together to raise awareness and get the government to start to put their shoulder behind this?
Wow, that's a loaded question. Okay. I mean, we're doing our bit, first of all. Like, I don't know if you remember or saw in the press, but last year we had over 100 MPs mentoring disadvantaged youth. So, wow, to make that happen, it even came up where the Prime Minister was asked, will he be joining the campaign on National Mentoring Day? So, we had over 100 MPs. A few years ago, I did an event at the House of Commons, and we got all the MPs to come on, hold up our National Mentoring Day sign saying we support mentoring. But do they? The thing is, with business mentoring, unless you've done it, I live and breathe and sleep mentoring. I've seen the difference it makes to people's lives and how it changed businesses. They need to see, feel, and witness the real impact and value of mentoring to businesses, which obviously will greatly affect and grow the economy. So they don't really know. They're busy with their jobs. They don't know. And it's like the government, I've been involved in a couple of government projects from what was the innovation one called? It was huge. Innovate and all the funding ones as well. So
Growth Accelerator and all of those kind of programs.
All those types of things. So literally, there's a lot more that government could be doing, and but fundamentally they need to recognise that mentoring is not just about mentoring young people, because there's so much funding and so much resources that go into the young people, which is very important, but equally they need to keep businesses surviving and growing. So I think mentoring is not only transformational for the business or individual receiving it, it also has a knock-on effect to their families and can positively impact everyone involved, and that's something that they need to see. And it could be an initiative where, like with the startup loans, that they give funding towards having business mentors. So last year, one of my proud moments was that Google came up with, I don't know if you saw the headline, but it was in Forbes, and it said Google goes big for National Mentoring Day. And what they did was they gave, I think it was 10,000 hours of business mentoring to small businesses. This is the initiatives that we need to happen on National Mentoring Day, because we're creating all the awareness, the campaigns, and the resources and the assets, and it needs to be matched with something else, Gary. Yeah. So if there was this big funding initiative where people were given business mentoring for their business on National Mentoring Day, like what Google did last year, then that could be a start.
So what can we do to make that happen? Do we need to just keep beating the drum, or is there something we should be doing with our two joint organizations? What do we do to get them to, pay less lip service and take more action?
Well, I'm doing all I can. And, like I said, we have some very high profile government figures involved. We need more. And it's about showcasing the impact. It's all about the data. So, we need to work on the data. And again, a lot of organizations, they conduct surveys and research and launch it as a PR angle on National Mentoring Day. So, I think it's highly about time after us being, working for a decade on this, that they also need to get behind it and, offer resources and funding as well.
And I think if the last 2 years has taught the government and everybody else in a position of authority anything, it's the fact that businesses need support in tough times as well as good times. And in an environment where 95% of small businesses are failing, and all the negative impact that has on their communities and the creditors and the families, surely there's the continued momentum you're getting, that we're getting with the ABM in raising awareness, having discussions at the high tables. They're going to be taking this seriously very quickly, aren't they?
Absolutely. When I look back at where we started, and we've come so far now, the impact of mentoring now has just grown and grown. I created a little directory of all the organizations, like when I first started, and it consisted of like ABM, but the Prince's Trust and Mosaic and Careers and Enterprise Company. There was about 10.
Yeah.
And now we have thousands of mentoring initiatives. So it really is moving in the right direction. But again, Gary, who's supporting these mentoring initiatives? If nobody thanks the mentors, then people will be like, oh yeah, I've done mentoring. Yeah, I did mentoring. No, mentoring is like the dog is for life, not just for Christmas. You need to be mentoring all the time. It's so rewarding, and people still, like I say, there needs to still, you think, oh, what do you mean you need more awareness on mentoring? We still need more awareness on how to procure a mentor. And like I say, we are the voice of mentoring in terms of promoting these great initiatives. You would cry if you knew some of the mentoring initiatives that I spend time with, in terms of the reach and the impact that they do. It's phenomenal. For little children and the soldiers and things like that. So who's promoting these initiatives? We're the only ones.
Yeah.
We're giving a voice, and we're saying, listen, we're here to support you. So we're here to shine a spotlight on your initiative, and that's what we're doing.
And as every month goes by, as every National Mentoring Day goes by, as every new member that we get on board at the ABM, we're just going to finish up joining all the dots, whether it be Google or the soccer teams or whoever it is. Eventually we're going to join all of these dots up, and we're just going to have such a strong web, aren't we, that just people are tapped into the concept of giving, continuing to give and receiving and feeding back mentoring initiatives.
Well, that's right, because connection and connection and collaboration are key to make a healthy society, to make the world, to survive in this world. So we're going to be seeing more and more and more of it, and that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah, fantastic. So Chelsey, you've shared some incredible insight today into the power and the benefits of mentoring and the momentum that you've achieved over an 8-9 year period, and just how many businesses and countries and people and beneficiaries are getting on board with this. So, we tip our hats off to you, and we're incredibly proud to have an association with you and support you in any way we can. What is next for Chelsey and National Mentoring Day? What's the next few steps for you?
Well, I think it's just it's not just about like the promotion, because we need more social media followers. We have serious meetings with serious organizations and make stuff happen, and you can get lost in the social media frenzy of just promoting stuff on social media. It's just not about that. It's about really making an impact. And we've got some exciting plans that I can't reveal at the moment in terms of education, and it's just it's making sure that we are supporting mentoring initiatives in the right way. I kind of can't keep up with it in terms of people. We did all our resources yesterday. We've got graphics for disability, for communities, for businesses, and it's like every day there's something new that we need to be doing. So it's a busy old journey.
Fantastic. Chelsey, you know, you really are impacting so many people with this, and we're, you know, as I say, we're incredibly proud to support the National Mentoring Day initiative. We're incredibly proud to help you continue to beat the drum. So I just want to thank you on behalf of me and my business. Thank you on behalf of the ABM. Thank you on behalf of anybody that's mentoring or receiving the benefits of mentoring over the next few weeks and beyond, just to say thank you. Thanks for your continued efforts, and, you know, long may we continue to support you in beating that drum. So thanks for your time this afternoon, and thank you for everything that you do for mentoring.
Oh, thank you, Gary. It's been a pleasure to be here today. And like I say, just recognize someone. They don't even have to have been a mentor, but recognize someone, use the initiative in the day to thank someone, recognize someone, and mentor someone, you know, and pay it forward.
Chelsey, thank you very much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, Gary. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.